Hey, Highland County Real Estate, Randy Butler here with Mr. Kevin Zimmerman from KMZ Farms. How are you, sir?
Just fine.
Kevin and his brother have the KMZ Farms. There's a really ugly one and a better looking one. I don't guess we'll say which one you are. Well, whoever's watching can figure that out. The Zimmerman brothers are farmers here in the Leesburg area and have been your whole life, right? Mm-hmm. And you graduated Leesburg School here in
1971.
1971. How many acres do you guys farm?
Just a little shade under 2,000 acres.
2,000 acres. That's unreal. And I've said this before. We talked a little bit about it before. I grew up. My dad farmed in the 80s until he went broke when it got really bad and we had to go get jobs. But I was talking to one of you guys one time, and I'll never forget this. You were waxing your combine, putting wax on your combine. That just blew my mind. I know back in the 80s when Dad farmed, you just, wherever you got done with it, that's where you parked it till you needed it the next time. But it has changed quite a bit over the years.
It certainly has.
Everything is waxed and put away and that kind of thing. One of the things that always amazed me, and I don't think most people can fathom how much it costs to farm. I mean, it is big business. It's huge.
It is. It has changed quite a bit over the past few years, and it does take a lot of capital to keep things going anymore.
How, roughly, what do you think your cost just to put out, not counting your equipment, that kind of thing, what does it cost you to farm 2,000 acres?
Well, actually, if you put that on a per acre basis, to put out a corn crop, for instance, this 2019 crop that we're getting ready to put in the ground, to raise a crop of corn, it's in the excess of $600 an acre to put out a crop of corn.
Wow, $600 an acre. That's and I don't know how it works. I mean, I know it used to be you could borrow money to put your crops out. I don't know if banks still do that, or
sure.
You just kind of, you had to borrow money to put your crops out, and then when your harvest time comes and you paid the loan off, and next year the cycle started all over again.
That's correct.
So, farming is, and what this has to do with real estate. I mean, it used to be every now and then, farmer, you'd see a farm for sale at an auction or listed or that kind of thing, but we don't see that much anymore. Most farmers, I mean, if farms do sell, it's already sold to the neighbor, that kind of thing. That happens quite a bit. So what little bit of farms that have sold, it's usually just two farmers together, and it's usually a lot of money.
That's correct. That's kind of where it's gotten a big, good farmland is hard to come by right now.
Now you guys, we're in a barn where you guys grew up at, correct?
That's correct.
You grew up right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We actually moved here in the winter of 1966. Yeah. From New Vienna area.
You moved a long way.
Yeah, moved a long way. Yeah.
I didn't know that, New Vienna to Leesburg.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, the Zimmerman's been here as long as I've ever known. They've been here in the Leesburg area. Very well-respected family, done very well. It just, I mean, farming has just came, and I'm not a farmer, but I was around it a little bit when I was a kid, but it's changed so much. I mean, we had rough equipment, and there was no cabs on tractors or any of that kind of thing. I mean, equipment expense, that's far and above, whatever it would cost for you to put something out as well. I mean,
sure, equipment expenses, we've seen it, it's quite expensive anymore to replace a piece of equipment or to upgrade. Equipment expenses is very high.
Wow, and here at the Zimmerman farm, you only see one color that I have noticed, and it's kind of, green would be the color here at the Zimmerman
green
farm.
Green is a color.
So. Well, anyway, it's great talking with you. Anything we want to add? Something, maybe a little known fact about farming that interesting to know? I'm not sure what that would be, but.
Well, like I said, we've talked about farming changing over the years, and technology is a big part of the farming operations today. We didn't used to think that much about technology, but it's really changed. Where we're going to go in the future, who only knows? I often think about where we'll be 5 years from now. We got tractors that drive themselves now. It's probably going to. We know there's technologies out there for the tractor to operate in the field while the the farmer could be sitting behind a desk. So
Wow,
technology
that is amazing.
there, and it's coming, and it'll be exciting to see.
One of the things you told me a while back, I just now thought of. I forget what you called it, but selling your grain. I mean, that's huge. You have to sell at the right time, the right place, all that kind of work. You, if I remember right, you hire somebody to tell you advise you when the best time and the best place to sell is. Correct?
Yeah, we do have an advisory service that we use, and they do help us market our grain. We meet with them once a month, and
Wow.
They'll come in and we'll sit down for an hour or two and discuss our strategy for. And we're off. Right now, we're got crops sold a couple years down the road.
Wow, that's amazing. It is an educated business. I mean, you have to be educated. You have to know. You have to understand what's going on to do this.
Well, yeah, it's you know, I just have a high school education. I started college but didn't finish. I regret that, but I feel like that I've gotten a pretty good education over the past 40-some years.
It's done well for you. Yeah. Very good. Thank you, Mr. Kevin Zimmerman.
Thank you.